Well, I'm thinking Huntington Beach needs a little bit of a history lesson. First of all, Huntington Beach was not Huntington Beach when people first lived there and created communities. The actual first owner of Huntington Beach was a Spanish soldier named Manuel Nieto. Received a land grant from Spain of 300,000 acres. That's a whole lot of land, guys. A reward for his military service and to encourage settlement. He basically ended up owning most of Orange County. Henry Huntington came in later when people with a lot of money and land were getting bought out by people with a whole lot more money and land. It's America. Nieto wasn't a wasn't an idiot. He hung on to West Whittier, Fullerton, Brea, and a crap load of land between OC and LA County. People forget we have a Mexican heritage here, a Hispanic heritage here. Next time you get on the freeway, look at what off ramps you're going to get off of. Alicia? Come on, guys. Henry Huntington was part of boosterism era. Oil. Then sadly the oil was running out and they knew it. They had to figure it out. The oil pier had fallen into the ocean. I was there. I watched logs roll up on the beach. Huntington Beach was in sad. They knew this was coming, but the deals they made back then must have been almost mafia-like because of how it is now. Huge loans and deals about hotels were made somewhere along the line there, guys. They're still making them. Look at PCH. It looks like Miami Beach. Thank you. Thank you. Now we got Miami Beach. It ain't Huntington Beach. They did. Problem is, they had the right idea. Problem is, they took all of those human characteristics into it at the same time. They thought, you know what? We could get this much money if we did this. And they made deals they shouldn't have made. That's the problem. They created, instead of protecting Huntington Beach, they created an ideology. And they protected that instead of the people. If you live here, here's the ideology, guys. If you live here and you make so much money, awesome. We love you. Welcome. Here's tickets to the parade. If you live here and you make so much money, you better make more in a few years or sorry, but we're going to have to push you to Westminster. No offense, Westminster. I love you and I've lived there. I honestly think you're a better community. But anyway, the state is now suing Huntington Beach for its rent prices. They know why they're being sued and they know why they're fighting it. They don't want people that can pay that amount of rent there. They want people that can pay that amount of rent there. It's how they think. It's how they work. It's how they justify their morality when someone gets shot on the street of Huntington Beach or someone gets beat up on the beach. That's how they do it. It's about protecting an ideology. It has nothing to do with the issues at hand. Same reason they fought to bar us to the federal court. There's shitloads are at stake here, people, and people don't get that. And doing all of this, they created a monster. And if you create a monster, if you create a monster, if I create a monster, you and I had better figure out how to feed our monster. Well, they did. Tourism. Not only did they feed their monster, they overfed that monster. They couldn't stop. I think there's 212 police personnel on the Huntington Beach Police Force in a city of 250,000. I'm not even going to do the math because I think you're smart enough to figure out we're not protected by them at any given time. So why make it out like we are? It takes 9 minutes of response for them to get there, wherever it is. It's crazy. 10 minutes for paramedics now, as evidenced by Dylan Tabarra's murder. So The mantra is property, money, prestige, position, and ego, and you're in the club if you got that. If you aren't in the club, you're in danger, and unfortunately, so are your children if they struggle with things. They have not come a long way since the year 2000. They went from 0.8% African American to a whopping 1.1% 20 years later. Nice. That's a statement. Even though African Americans make up 14% of the American population. Get this. This is even better. The percentage of Latinos in Huntington Beach was 17.1% in the year 2000. It is now 16.7%. I'm thinking thanks to ICE, the Huntington Beach Police Department, the government, the people, and this is by design, my friends. This is what happens in the backroom meetings. This is where they threaten people with lawsuits. This is where they keep this absolute crap going. They're trying to make Huntington Beach a restricted income only city, so they can keep their ideology about why they enforce laws the way they do. I suddenly realized they aren't protecting citizens with the law, they're protecting an ideology. They didn't even earn that ideology. Nieto did. Do you think it's a coincidence that the arrests that were made at the surf contests were mostly people of color that got the most attention? They bring this on themselves with their absolute ignorance and egos. There is nothing spiritually sound about their philosophy, not in any book, anywhere. I'm going to do a very articulate response to the chief of Huntington Beach this week, but I want to take my time like I have, because they think too fast and they make a lot of mistakes and they give me a lot of ammo. God bless you all.